Welcome to another episode of The Glow with Chloe. Cue the intro.
Watch out for me, I'm bound to glow.
What is up, Glow Gang? I am your host, Chloe Kane. Welcome back to my channel. Listen, my show is not inspiration, it's not motivation, it is real life revelations to help you grow in your relationship with Christ and live your best life. This week's Glow is progression over perfection. There's so many of us who have dreams and ideas and possibilities that God has placed in our path, but we won't actually act on them because we are stuck in a mindset of perfection, trying to make sure it is perfected before we put it out into the world, without realizing that there are people attached to the dream that God has put on your life. The vision that He's put inside of you is purposed so somebody else can follow their purpose and so somebody else can see that they're worth it. You see, I struggle with this same exact thing. I didn't start The Glow with Chloe because I was so afraid that it wouldn't be perfect, that the graphics wouldn't be great, that I would post it too late, that people wouldn't be able to relate. But then I realized there are lives attached to this thing that I'm putting into the world. The words that are coming out of my mouth are meant to inspire you. They're meant to touch you and encourage you towards your dreams and encourage you towards being the women and men that God has created and called you to be. I would be a disservice to this universe if I stayed stuck in my own head and didn't put out content because I was too afraid of what other people would think or too afraid of what I would think of myself. You see, what perfection does is it puts you in a world that doesn't actually exist. It makes you resist your gifts because if they're not perfect, then I won't pursue them because they will never reach the level of what you perceive in your mind. And for me, a lot of that came from comparing myself on social media, looking at what other people are doing, looking at the experience that I may not have, and counting myself out because of doubt. And that is what perfectionism will sometimes do. And right now, if you are in the same space, I want to let you know that in order for you to grow, you have to know that that dream, that vision, you have to do it from its baby stages. When you are starting and you don't have all the camera equipment and you are recording it off your phone. When you are starting your business and you don't have a lot of customers. Trust those small beginnings, because those small beginnings will take you places where you can't even imagine or think or dream for yourself. Don't let perfectionism win. You were born to win, not perfectionism, because perfectionism doesn't exist. We all have bruises, flaws, scratches, brokenness, imperfections that are naturally a part of who God has created us to be. And that's what makes us so beautiful, because we're able to transform our brokenness into beauty. I'm able to give you a video right now. It's not perfect, but I know that it'll help you see that your life is worth it, that you are so much more than what we see on the surface, that your gifts matter, that you matter, that the vision that God has given you, it matters. But it is up to you to put it out into the world so it can be perfected, so you can grow in your craft, so you can learn. You see, every single time that you do what God has called, crafted, and created you to do, you become better. It says it takes 10,000 hours to master your craft. If you are not operating in your craft and putting work out into the world, how will you ever have a measure of how to get better? That's why we do the gifts from its beginning baby stages. You see, it took me about 4 or 5 years to actually get a professional camera. I was recording off of my mom's T3 Canon Rebel. It was in 720p quality, but I didn't care because I knew that somebody needed my gift and somebody needs yours too. But you have to understand, in order to progress in your journey, you have to rid yourself of perfection. Do that one thing that you've been wanting to do, but you have let perfectionism get into the way because you don't think that you are perfect. to exist in that space. I'm here to tell you today that you do exist in that space and that you can do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You, my friend, are meant to shine bright. Ignite your light. I'll see you next week on another episode of The Glow with Chloe.
Watch out for me, I'm bound to glow.